Impressions of Seattle. Join us as we visit the brilliant gem of the Pacific Northwest and one of America's most livable cities. Explore the Emerald City and discover why this superlative region is associated with the terms enlightening, intriguing, exhilarating, and captivating. This video journey will give you a glimpse of this multi-dimensional, picturesque city with 31 minutes of selective footage that will entertain you downtown, underground, and send you skybound. From various vantage points, you'll appreciate a century of innovative architecture, from the Columbia Tower to the Smith Tower, Husky Stadium, and the Space Needle. Experience the ambiance that is Pike Place Market. From the Cascade to the Olympic mountain ranges and the unequivocal splendor of Mount Rainier, you'll be astonished by Seattle's wondrous natural surroundings. The Pacific Northwest's shining star has many brilliant facets, several of which we will explore. We'll go down Ski Acres, up the Space Needle, cruise the Sound by boat and plane, then back onto solid ground to an incomparable blend of Northwestern flair. Bordered by the Pacific Ocean in the northwesternmost part of the United States, Washington State is home to the pioneering yet cosmopolitan city that attracts thousands of visitors and new residents yearly. Seattle is bordered by snow-covered mountain ranges and surrounded by Lake Washington, Lake Union, and the Puget Sound. On a clear day, you can see forever. This has been said and sung about many places, and most of the time, forever is good. On a clear day in Seattle, forever is spectacular. From Upper Queen Anne Hill, you'll experience an encompassing perspective of Elliott Bay, the city skyline, Mount Rainier, and the festive Seattle Center. Most distinguishable, perhaps, by the 605-foot futuristic frame Space Needle. Its elegant silhouette is recognized throughout the world. And although Seattle's most frequented tourist attraction is awesome on its own, the panoramic array of sights from both the observation deck and swirling restaurant are virtually innumerable. The outer ring circles 360 degrees hourly, providing a savory taste of the city over dinner. Day or night, summer or winter, the Space Needle is just the beginning of the fun you'll have at the Seattle Center. The Pacific Science Center will enthuse and intrigue curiosities of all ages with enough brilliant displays, films, and demonstrations to keep the entire family busy most of the day. The Science Center structure, designed by Minoru Yamasaki, is set around reflecting pools and delicate high arches. When you hear sounds of classical music, a la Mozart and Beethoven, your first thoughts will be directed at the Seattle Center Opera House. But you'll be surprised when you realize it's coming from the International Fountain, a choreographed water show, most enjoyable perhaps in the evening, when a colorful light display rounds out this harmonic trio. The center's indoor ice skating rink is very popular among both the graceful skaters and beginners of all shapes and sizes. The Northwest Craft Center and Gallery offers a fantastic assortment of authentic collectibles. The Seattle Center Coliseum and Seattle Repertory Theater display their respective showcase of talent from the world of theater, music, and sports. The convenient Skyspan monorail system that links the Seattle Center to downtown is a favored alternate means of transportation. Originally consisting of about 40 farmers and merchants, Farmers Market has grown well beyond 250 today. Over 40,000 daily visitors find pleasure in the banter shared with the entertaining cast of merchants who throw in an impressionable display of theatrics with every request. Not to mention the obvious appeal of fresh produce, flowers, and locally crafted arts and jewelry. Once an Indian village, the face of Pioneer Square has changed many times since it was seen through the eyes of Chief Sealth, for whom Seattle is named. Known for its Victorian-style architecture, which has dominated Seattle's first historic district since rebuilding started here after the fire of 1889, the square has flourished through its peerless art galleries, bustling antique shops, bookstores, and a feast of restaurants. Pioneer Square is the festive home to Seattle's version of Mardi Gras, known as Fat Tuesday, and hosted by a slew of eateries and taverns, including Seattle's oldest restaurant, Merchant's Cafe. Take a tour of underground Seattle. The forgotten city has been preserved in the truest sense of the word. Unlike many exhibits of yesteryear, it has not been restored to appear ageless, but left to age gracefully as it fell, over a century ago to the Great Seattle Fire. A witty, entertaining tour guide will humor you with all the facts and fun associated with the city that lies beneath Seattle's modern streets. You'll surely want to visit Doc's Souvenir Store, where memorabilia is reasonably priced due to low overhead. The waterfront along Elliott Bay has several piers with a variety of offerings. The converted warehouse that is Pier 70 has an assortment of little shops, anchored by its top-of-the-pier restaurant, sporting yet another spectacular view. If you're among the singles crowd, or just young at heart, you'll want to experience the pier at night, when the view remains terrific to the tune of Seattle's best dance bands at the pier's popular nightclub. Cruise first class to Victoria, British Columbia from Pier 69 aboard the double-hulled catamaran Victoria Clipper. The rustic Edgewater Inn atop Pier 67 offers attractive waterside accommodations after a hard day's night. On Pier 59, discover a wide assortment of Puget Sound's marine life at Seattle's Aquarium. The dramatic Cinema in the Round Omnidome showcases more of nature's various wonders. Plan a picnic or snack break in the artsy confines of Waterfront Park. Adjoining the aquarium on 3 piers, this multi-leveled man-made park is recognized by its refreshing waterfall sculpture. Along the waterfront, the seafood is abundant. Bayview dining is extremely relaxing, not to mention fulfilling. Succulent seafood cuisine is enhanced by the deckside seating at the Fisherman, Crab Pot, and Elliott's Seafood restaurants, to name a few. View the waterfront from the wet side aboard one of the many fact-filled harbor tours. If fish and chips are more your cup of chowder, experience a long-standing waterfront tradition at Iber's Fish Bar, where flocks of busy snackers learn how to keep clam. The waterfront streetcar is a nostalgic source of transportation, reminiscent of the 1890s. Spectacular skyscape by night, bustling business environment by day. The most imposing structure is the Columbia Center, which at 76 stories is the tallest building on the West Coast. This black glass tower overlooks a generous assortment of skyscrapers that are over 40 stories high, including the Pacific First Federal Center, the Union Square Towers, and the Neo-Art Deco Washington Mutual Tower, each uniquely different from the other. Many visitors take in the breathtaking view from the observation deck on Columbia's 73rd floor. However, much is said about the unparalleled sights and the more private washrooms in the exclusive top-story executive club. From any angle, it's hard to deny Seattle's place among heavyweights in the skyscraping ring along Seattle's commercial core. For many years, it was the Smith, not Columbia Tower, boasting claim as the tallest structure on the West Coast. Built in 1914, it's hard to imagine the enormity of this peak structure as it blends in among a family of high-rises today and is dwarfed by its significantly taller younger brother. The opening of trade with the Orient in 1896 brought a host of exotic goods to the West Coast directed through the Port of Seattle. Back then, large cargo ships were loaded with silk, satisfying the high demand within the U.S. Today, the fast-paced electronics and automobile industries have accelerated the import-export business along the gateway to the Orient beyond the wildest dreams of those early traders. The overwhelming flow of activity along the docks requires precision performances from the crew in charge, not unlike the performance American drivers will expect from the turbocharged automobiles imported from Japan. Boeing Airplane Company has landed many innovative ideas from the world of aerospace. Boeing is Washington State's largest employer with over 103,000 employees statewide. From its manufacturing plant in Everett, Washington, 747s and 767s are built for over 80 countries worldwide. In reality, the final assembly culminates in the production of approximately 5 jets per month. Assembly takes place in the largest enclosed building in the world, amassing 63 acres. A 1.5-hour tour of this facility will fascinate you with historic film clips, objects of progression, and a bird's eye view of various stages of production, all of which will give you something new to think about the next time you taxi down the runway and head into the friendly skies. Increasing passenger travel has set all-time highs in production for Boeing. Another Seattle company is soaring with consistently high growth in the Air Express carrier business. A proven high-tech warehousing center offered by Airborne Express enables the most demanding and unusual business requests to be shipped overnight with utmost efficiency. Union Bay is one of several Seattle-based clothing distributors outfitting the active lifestyles of men and women internationally. Genera, Eddie Bauer, and Shaw Safari also contribute significantly to this market from their Seattle headquarters. In keeping pace with the action, Seattle locals, as well as visitors, have learned to rely on Starbucks coffee with over 60 retail outlets in the specialty coffee capital of America. Frederick and Nelson, Nordstrom, and the Bon Marché, three more Seattle-based companies, add tremendous appeal to retail shopping in Westlake Center, all of which emphasize courtesy and quality within aesthetic surroundings. The University of Washington's park-like campus is just 15 minutes from downtown Seattle. Bordering the diverse and lively streets of the University District, the campus is open to all who wish to enjoy its spectacular vistas and lush foliage. Over a century of academic tradition and a distinguished faculty attract students from around the world to pursue their academic endeavors in this picturesque setting. From the stately older mansions that house the university's fraternities and sororities, affectionately known as Greek Row, to the 200-acre Washington Park Arboretum, showcasing a serene spectacle of colorful spring flowers and fruit trees, the campus has grown into a horticultural and architectural showplace. Seattleites cherish the great outdoors. The short drive to a variety of mountain resorts attracts thousands of skiers, sledders, and snowballers to the winter paradise of the Cascade Mountain Range. Consistent snowfall produces excellent winter skiing conditions. The lighter snowfall and the sunny skies that accompany the spring ski season attract the early crowds anticipating smooth runs and an early start on their summer tan. More than a dozen resorts accommodate skiers throughout Washington State. Stevens Pass, Ski Acres, Pac West, and Crystal Mountain are just a short drive from Seattle, leaving plenty of time for biking, kayaking, and yes, even water skiing in the late spring. The appeal of Alki Beach in the summertime is quite obvious, no matter how you look at it. The sun and sound provide a sand stage for participants in the lively summer games. There's plenty of water to cool off in, although jet skiing is considered by many to be a more suited use for the sound. This 2.5-mile strip serves all too well as a tranquil and scenic walkway on a brisk Seattle evening. Without a doubt, the best view along the beach is from the historic Alki Point Lighthouse. It's gotta be a pretty special occasion for these guys to show up, but they're surely not the only ones. Thousands of people watch from boats on Lake Washington and form the log boom at the annual Midsummer Festival, Seafair, beginning the third week in July, with the highlight being the unlimited hydroplane races. Employing state-of-the-art zoo design, a blend of science, art, technology, and an increasingly sophisticated understanding of animal behavior, Woodland Park Zoo has been reorganized to help visitors better understand the important relationship between animals and their natural environments. The action comes from every angle when the Mariners host exciting Major League Baseball. The explosive M's bring a powerful lineup to the 74,000-seat Kingdome, where the boys of summer prove that anything can happen. University of Washington's Husky football program is long on tradition and robust with spirit. The uniquely designed Husky Stadium draws capacity crowds and showcases extraordinary talent from the star-studded Pac-10 Conference. The high-flying, fast-breaking, slam-dunking action of NBA basketball is supersonic to Seattle Hoop fans at the Seattle Center Coliseum. WHL hockey has grown to record-setting popularity through the tremendous success of Seattle's slick-skating, high-scoring Thunderbirds. Sellout crowds pack the Center's arena. Seattle is known to many as the small boat capital of the world. Opening day of boating season is a celebrated tradition, which is held annually on the first Saturday in May. Crew races along the boat-lined Montlake Cut begin the festivities and is followed by the opening day boat parade. Over 200,000 spectators line the shores to observe one of Seattle's largest nautical displays. At the west end of the Lake Washington Ship Canal, pleasure boats and commercial ships pass through the Chittenden Locks going between salty Puget Sound and the fresh waters of Lake Washington and Lake Union. Spectators delight in the fast-paced action aboard a constant flow of vessels crossing here. As the boats rise and fall, Puget Sound fluctuates from 6 to 26 feet lower than the channel, and the process takes about 10 to 25 minutes, depending on which lock is being used. Water is a vital part of Seattle, and for some residents, it's their backyard. This unique lifestyle offers secluded waterfront living with some very interesting neighbors. Seaplanes provide a bird's-eye view of Puget Sound. Departing from the shores of Lake Union, a pilot will highlight your aerial tour. This skybound excursion will enhance your perspective of the Emerald City and its beautiful surroundings. Thousands of East Side commuters rely on Seattle's two floating bridges atop scenic Lake Washington. Known as the New Underground, Metro has paved the way through the Emerald City with its underground bus tunnel. The efficient L-shaped tunnel under 3rd Avenue is regarded as another of Seattle's artistic showplaces, with marquees at the 9th Avenue and Pine Street Plaza entrance. The largest system of its kind in the country, the Washington State Ferry System is a daily form of transportation for island commuters and is an interesting way for visitors to soak up more of Washington's beautiful scenery. From innovative skyscrapers and futuristic structures to a potpourri of outdoor recreational activities, there are many facets that contribute to the appeal of this diverse, picturesque city. Seattle has incomparable charm and a genuine personality of which many find irresistible. Once you experience the innovative Space Needle, the natural beauty of its surroundings, and the charismatic people who live and work in the various communities that make up this fascinating area, you'll clearly understand the growing popularity of this all-in-one paradise.